Hi, welcome back to Dao Twang. I'm Dave. So we've got an A minor blues kind of progression here. It's A minor and D minor. And if I don't know if you noticed in the intro, it's a 3 feel. It's actually it's 6. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I'm kind of splitting that right when I hit that kind of where the snare is and where I'm hitting that emphasizing that accented beat is the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So you just think of that as two pieces of 3, right? Most of the stuff we do on this channel is in 4. There's a lot of popular stuff is. I just wanted to mix it up a little bit on that. So something to just mess around with. And one thing that can kind of lead you into that could be cool right away is finding some triads or some note sequences and really, adhering to that 3 feel. So you could do that right away, just like there's that A minor and the D. So like okay, then you kind of start leaving some beats out here and there, but you start off by just really getting in. So you can just really slip into that, right away by kind of warming up with those triads and really getting into that 3 and 6 feel. Now the note choices here is one thing I really wanted to focus on in this lesson. I've got some slides here and I want to try to really present this in a kind of a simplified way that's also thorough and not cutting any corners. But a lot of the stuff that you might see flying around you, with a lot of information and videos and stuff, chord tones, 7ths and 9ths, and what is all that? Well, you need to, really be familiar with triads, okay? So the triads meaning the root, 3rd, and 5th of chords, okay? So don't try to memorize everything on all of them all at once, but there's several lessons. There's even a playlist that's dedicated to triad studies on this channel that really breaks some of those down. But beyond those triads, a lot of times you see the 7th and the 9th, and what does all that really mean? So now I kind of set us up to look at one of the, not easiest, but plain to C keys, which is the key of C major. We're playing an A minor, okay? But our relative major for A minor is C. So we're actually playing the notes. Just a minute ago when I was kind of noodling there, I was playing the notes in C major. Okay, just kind of, so we think of that being kind of overlaid with this A minor pentatonic or blues scale, and right away you've got a lot of stuff to choose from. Let me just show you real quick what that's like, without going real fast. Okay, that's that A minor pentatonic. Okay, now here's that A natural minor. Good notes in there, right? And we're just getting started and pretty much just going up and down that minor scale. So review that. Here's a couple slides for those. And this is probably the first place that you need to park this lesson if you're not familiar with those already, and really spend some time getting those under your fingers, and that'll open up a bunch of stuff that's about to be presented here. Okay, so just practice that. Right? There you go. And then, you got that blues scale and that A minor pentatonic, whether you do it just in this position or the other pattern that I'll put in the description part here, a link to it, which is that. Okay. So, I don't want to just, kind of blow by that, but I want to get onto this other couple of other topics here as well. But those are the things that that are kind of preliminary to what I'm about to show you, right? You want to really, you don't have to master them right now, but just, stop and really warm up on that. Okay. One thing I want to really, and I know this is probably pushing it on time for this lesson, but maybe it'll be a couple minutes longer. Hopefully it'll be worth it. I wanted to help try to kind of maybe demystify a little bit of the stuff about the seventh and the ninth and stuff. Not just to memorize it for the sake of memorization, but to use it right away. And one of the notes in that intro that I really leaned on was E, okay? Now, I'll show you what I mean real quick. Over both chords, that's over the A, and that was over the D. Okay, now I'm throwing in, some other, encasing that in just other kind of pentatonic blues licks and stuff. But you see what I'm saying? I'm really emphasizing that E and hanging out on it over both of those chords. So first, let's look at the A minor and a little bit of theory about what that E is in the context of that A minor chord. Look at this slide right here. See how that's a sequence of notes? There's no sharps or flats in the key of C major and also A minor. That kind of makes it a little easier on us today, right? So if we just line up those notes right there in order, remember it's a continuum. It's not just one octave. You can just start or stop anywhere. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Just keep going like that. So you just drop in there anywhere on that, in this case, A, our root, and you go every other tone. You see that right there? So that's A, C, E, G, B. And see those numbers under there are root, third, fifth, 7, 9. Now, every one of those notes is going to sound cool over this progression. And, other notes that aren't necessarily chord tones, but those are all going to work. The ones that are really going to add depth and kind of flavor to, really color your blues playing on this are not just the root, right? But that fifth, sometimes the third a lot, and especially in the pentatonic frame. That fifth, that seventh, and that nine. Now, if you look at that A there, A is the root, C is the third, E is the fifth. Okay? Now, just focusing on that, I'm going to play a little bit with the track and just do some like pentatonic stuff, but land and hang out on that E a lot and start on the E sometimes. See there, I'm bending up to it. Okay, we don't need to use a lot of notes here, but so. Boy, that fifth of that A minor just sounds great. Now, I'm going to leave it on that for the A minor. Really focus on that E. But hopefully that makes sense too, just when you hear about thirds, fifth, seventh, ninth, every other one on those continuums, right? We're going to do more on this, so don't try to apply it to everything right now, but take it as far as it really makes sense for you. Now, let's pull that D up and see the E's not going to be the fifth of D, right? It's going to be something else, but it is in that list, see? So it's D, F, A, C, E. E's the 9 on that one, right? And so that 5th, 7th, and 9, but they just all really sound hip. So when you're playing over the D minor, and you hit an E, it's a little more suspended sounding, right? It's not in the triad like it is for A minor, but okay, so that's going to sound cool. The E is going to sound great over both of them. But since that 5th of the A minor sounded cool, well, wait a second, what's the 5th of the D minor? Right? Look back at this slide. Okay, so the 5th of the D minor, D, F, A. Oh, well, that's our root for A, but it's our 5th for D. So let's check that out. So on the A, E is our 5th. Yeah, A is the 5th for our D. Hear that? See how there's just more depth to that than just if we did landing on the roots of A and D. I'm bending up to the E for the A minor. Alright, I'm kind of rushing it there. So in that last little bit there, every time it went to the next chord, I ended up on the fifth of that chord. So that's a good thing to just work out on right there. Just deliberately land on that fifth when you change each chord. So it's the E for the A minor and the A for the D minor. And go back and look at those slides to really mortar in the theory behind that and the every other note thing. And hopefully that really kind of, gives you a more concise way to visualize and later on to hear. But, just the sort of the mathematical aspect of it, the simplicity of that, every other one, okay? Those are always going to be your go-to chord tones, to land on and stuff. Other than that, look for those fifths, and then put just some of your own stuff that you've been working on pentatonic wise and blues scale and stuff around there with it. And that's it for this lesson. But when you start adding those other chord tones and using those as targets rather than just the roots, it's really going to start sounding richer. Okay, so that's the idea here. So just a couple more times around, just demonstrating some stuff, and then I'll get you to the practice loop, okay? There's all these diagrams from this one are in the description section, links to it on my Google Drive, okay? Appreciate you. Talk to you next time.